Hi, my name is Elizabeth Cooper, and our group did our project on animal treatment and ethics. So, for our task guide, as you can see on the slides, we have it broken down who did what. So, Allie worked on the graphics and visuals, Elizabeth did the topic statement and the popular press perspective, Caitlin did the video creation, Kayla did the summary/conclusion, and Sloan did the slideshow creation, popular press perspective as well, and peer review perspective. So our topic overall was animal treatment and ethics, and our topic statement is factory farming prioritizes mass production over animal welfare, exposing animals to inhumane conditions and creating ethical, environmental, and health concerns, making it urgent for consumers and industries to adopt more humane and sustainable alternatives.
Our popular press perspective is that factory farming is a method of raising animals for the production of food, prioritizing high production at the expense of animal welfare. Factory farming has ethical and environmental consequences. In the articles that we found, they discuss animals such as chickens, pigs, and cows, and how they are confined to such small spaces, how they are overcrowded in unnatural conditions, and how humans modify the animals for their own benefit. An example of this is debeaking chickens or tail-dogging pigs and cows. In addition to harming the animals, factory farming is harmful to the environment, communities, and consumers' health. Pollution, deforestation, and greenhouse gas emissions are linked to large-scale meat production due to factory farming. There are ethical alternatives that would reduce these negative impacts that we should consider switching to. Raising animals for the purpose of human consumption is a moral and ethical dilemma. In order to act ethically, individuals need to be intentional about where they buy their animal products from. For instance, animals from factory farms endure severe abuse and suffering. Every day, millions of animals are killed, with little oversight. Because of poor animal treatment, it is important to consider the consumption of non-human animals using a preference utilitarian perspective. Our peer-reviewed press perspective is that scientific research indicates that factory farming often allows for efficiency and profit to take precedence over animal welfare. These industrialized facilities confine animals to extremely tight quarters, severely restricting their movement and natural behavior. This subjects animals to inhumane conditions, treating them as if they were just a production unit rather than a sentient creature. This can lead to significant welfare deficits, including physical and psychological stress, which result in increased disease susceptibility, immune suppression, and repetitive stress behaviors. There is also a conjoining view in philosophical discussions that highlights the moral obligations humans have towards farmed animals, emphasizing the need for improved conditions and ethical treatment. Yet, many modern agricultural practices continue to exploit these animals as commodities rather than beings that are capable of suffering. The lack of proper enrichment, space, and veterinary care further exacerbates the suffering of farm animals. This raises concerns about sustainability and ethics of large-scale farming practices. Some research suggests that reforming these systems through strict welfare regulations, public awareness campaigns, and alternative practices will help mitigate the mistreatment of animals. Addressing this crucial issue requires a shift of both industry practices and consumer behavior to ensure agricultural efficiency does not come at the cost of animal suffering.
Hi, my name is Allie Jacob, and here are our visuals and graphics. On the left is a poll that was done asking people if they knew what factory farming is, and unfortunately, around half of people didn't know much, if anything, about the topic. On the right, we can see a graph talking about the number of pigs raised on mega factory farms. It used to be in the 1990s around 20 million, but now we've skyrocketed to over 120 million, whereas pigs and other types of farms are sinking to around that 20 million mark. On the left, we can see that 9+ billion animals are in these cruel confinement farms across the U.S., which is putting a lot of small farmers out of business and causing a lot of environmental pollution and damage. Less than 1% of animals are raised on high welfare farms, whereas there are over 85% of animals on these low welfare factory farms, as you can see in the images below of the conditions that pigs and chickens in these types of farms live in.
When it comes to comparing the information provided by both the peer-reviewed and the popular article, one thing is for certain. Animals are not receiving proper or ethical treatment when involved in factory farming. Knowledge of the conditions these animals live in prior to being used for production has shown to decrease consumers' willingness to purchase said products, not only out of concern for the animals, but for the health of the humans consuming the meat products as well. The articles reference this way of life as inhumane and cruel, solidifying our group's point of these processes being in need of reconstruction. If widespread knowledge of the treatment that takes place in these concentrated animal feeding operations, also known as CAFOs, occurs, then we could expect to see a decrease in consumerism for meat products.